Most people suffer not from their problems, but from how they think about them. Let that sink in for a second. Your boss didn't ruin your day. Your traffic jam didn't steal your peace. Your own mind did. The Stoics figured this out over 2,000 years ago, and modern neuroscience is finally catching up. Today, we're breaking down 5 Stoic habits that will literally rewire the way your brain responds to stress, failure, and uncertainty, so you can start operating at a level most people only dream about. Stay until the end, because habit number 5 is the one that changes everything. Welcome back to Level Up Daily, the channel where we turn timeless wisdom into daily action. I'm glad you're here. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Have you ever noticed that 2 people can face the exact same situation, a job loss, a breakup, a health scare, and one person collapses while the other somehow gets stronger? That difference isn't luck. It isn't even talent. It's mental architecture. It's the invisible set of habits and beliefs running in the background of your mind. The Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, spent their entire lives building that architecture on purpose. Marcus Aurelius ran the most powerful empire on earth while practicing these habits daily. Epictetus was a slave who became one of history's most respected philosophers. Seneca advised emperors. These weren't people living in comfort and theorizing about hardship. They lived it. And what they discovered is a system, a repeatable, practical system, for building a mind that doesn't break. Let's get into it. Habit number 1. The morning audit. Prepare for the day before it prepares you. Here's something most people never do. They walk into every single day completely unprepared for it mentally. They wake up, grab their phone, scroll through chaos, and then wonder why they feel reactive and anxious all day long. The Stoics did the exact opposite. Marcus Aurelius began every single morning by mentally rehearsing what challenges the day might bring. He wrote in his journal, what we now call meditations, lines like, "In the morning when you rise unwillingly, let this thought be present. I rise to the work of a human being." That wasn't Habit number 2, the dichotomy filter. Stop wasting energy on things you can't control. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. Pull out your phone right now, seriously do it, and think about the last 3 things that stressed you out this week. Got them? Now ask yourself this one question about each one. Was it actually in my control? Be honest. The weather, what someone said about you, the economy, traffic, other people's opinions, none of it is in your control. Yet most people spend 80% of their mental energy on the 20% of life that is completely outside their influence. Epictetus, who was literally owned by another human being, developed what is now called the dichotomy of control. He wrote, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion. Things outside our control are body, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions." This isn't passivity. This is precision. Every time something stresses you out, run it through the filter. Is this in my control or not? If yes, act. If no, release. That's it. That's the whole system. Sounds simple because it is. But implementing it daily? That's where the rewiring happens. Every time you consciously redirect your attention from the uncontrollable to the actionable, you are literally strengthening new neural pathways. You are training your brain to stop bleeding energy into the void. This one habit alone can recover hours of mental bandwidth every single day. Habit number 3, voluntary discomfort. Train yourself to be unbreakable. This one might surprise you. The Stoics didn't just endure hardship, they sought it out on purpose. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" They would fast voluntarily, sleep on hard floors, walk in cold weather without warm clothing, not because they were masochists, but because they were training. They were proving to themselves that they could survive discomfort. And here's the psychological gold in this. When you voluntarily choose discomfort, you rewire your brain's threat response. Things that used to feel catastrophic start feeling manageable. The cold shower you've been avoiding? Take it. The hard conversation you've been postponing? Have it. The workout when you don't feel like it? Do it. Every small act of chosen discomfort sends a signal to your nervous system. Habit number 4, the evening review. Close the loop every single night. Most people end their day on autopilot. They binge something, scroll until they're half asleep, and drift off without ever processing what actually happened during the day. The Stoics closed every day with intention. Seneca wrote about Sextius, his teacher, who asked himself 3 questions every evening. Where did I go wrong today? What did I improve? What can I do better? This wasn't self-flagellation, it was calibration. Think of it like a GPS. If you're driving and you make a wrong turn, the GPS doesn't shame you. It recalculates. The Stoic evening review is your daily recalibration. Here's the version I recommend. Before bed, write down 3 things. 1. One moment where I acted in alignment with my values. 2. One moment where I fell short and why. 3. One specific thing I will do differently tomorrow. That third question is the key. Without it, reflection becomes rumination. With it, reflection becomes growth. This habit does something powerful over time. It closes psychological loops. Unfinished mental loops are one of the biggest causes of anxiety and poor sleep. When you process your day on paper, you signal to your brain that the day is complete. You sleep better. You wake up clearer. And compounded over months, you become someone who genuinely learns from experience instead of just repeating the same patterns in different costumes. Habit number 5, memento mori. Use your death to design your life. This is the one. And I know that sounds dark. Stick with me. The Stoics had a daily practice called memento mori, Latin for remember that you will die. They kept skulls on their desks. They meditated on the deaths of loved ones. They reflected on their own mortality every single day, not to be morbid, but to wake themselves up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Here's what happens psychologically when you genuinely internalize your mortality. The unimportant becomes obviously unimportant. That argument you've been replaying in your head for 3 days, it evaporates. The approval you've been chasing from people who don't matter, gone. The dream you've been postponing until the conditions are perfect. All right, quick pause here. Because if any of what we've covered today is landing for you, I want to point you toward 2 things that genuinely accelerated my own journey with Stoicism. The first is the book that started everything for me. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. This is the personal journal of a Roman emperor, never meant to be published, where he wrote these exact principles to himself every single day. It's raw, it's real, and it's one of the most practical books I've ever read. I'll have an affiliate link in the description below. It's not a sponsorship gimmick. It's genuinely the one book I'd recommend if you're serious about building a Stoic mindset. The second thing, you need somewhere to do this work. All 5 habits we talked about today involve writing, morning audits, evening reviews, death meditation prompts. I personally use a journaling app that keeps everything organized, searchable, and private. I'll link that in the description too. It pairs perfectly with the book. The Stoics didn't just think about these ideas. They wrote about them daily. If Marcus Aurelius needed a journal, you probably do too. Links are below. Now back to the good stuff. So let's bring this all together. 5 Stoic habits that rewire your mind for success. 1. The morning audit. Prepare your mind before the day hijacks it. 2. The dichotomy filter. Stop bleeding energy on what you cannot control. 3. Voluntary discomfort. Build the muscle of resilience on purpose. 4. The evening review. Close the loop, recalibrate, grow. 5. Memento mori. Let the reality of your mortality wake you up to the life you actually want to live. These aren't 5 things to think about. They are 5 things to do, starting tomorrow morning. The Stoics weren't perfect people. Marcus Aurelius struggled with anger. Seneca struggled with wealth. Epictetus struggled with physical pain. But they had a system. A daily system for returning to their best selves. And that system is available to you right now, today, for free.